A Brooklyn family is searching for answers after learning their 28-year-old niece is no longer here. Now, she died just before midnight on Tuesday, and now her family is wishing for a holiday miracle. Now, right now, we're in Fort Greene, where Clarissa Burgos lived with her family. They received a call that changed their lives forever Tuesday night. Now, according to the NYPD, someone shot at a black Honda sedan near Liberty Avenue in Queens. Those bullets hitting Burgos in the head, along with the 39-year-old man who was driving. Although he was shot in the stomach multiple times, he drove himself and Burgos to the nearest precinct for help. Now, first responders took him to Jamaica Hospital, and he's in stable condition. As for Burgos, she died on the scene. We're not sure what their relationship was to each other. Now, we spoke with an aunt of Burgos who didn't want to be on camera. She says her niece had a great smile, and she raised her to be a good person since she was a little girl. Now, she told us she's still shocked, and she's sad about what happened. Now, she continued to remind us that these things happen in life, and her family is doing their best during this difficult time. Now, according to the NYPD, they don't have a description of the person who could be responsible, and this investigation is ongoing. As for the family, they asked us to respect their privacy at this time.
What's good, y'all? What's the numbers TV? It's your boy, Paul Rowe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And like a video if you appreciate the content that Paul Rowe and What's the Numbers TV is out here providing. This video is about some new information that recently came to light about the shooting of Chinaman, a well-known Brooklyn scammer, and the murder of Clarissa Burgos, which took place in Queens. According to the documents that have been released, a girl by the name of Chelsea Miss Chin Harris had been arrested for her role in the shooting. A lot of people were talking about her name early on when the shooting happened, that she was the girl that was in the car with them when they left out the club, the hookah spot, wherever they was at. She was in the car, and supposedly she said she forgot her purse, or for some reason she had to go back into the establishment where they was at beforehand, and that's when 2 to 3 shooters came up and shot up the car, killing Clarissa and injuring Chinaman, who was shot multiple times but survived. Chinaman drove straight to the precinct nearby from where the shooting took place, and from there he went to the hospital. Clarissa, I think, was dead at the scene, or they took her to the hospital. She passed away. And he at the time, Chinaman was going back and forth with other, Brooklyn scammers. I ain't gonna say no names on here, whatever. But the streets is talking, and a lot of it is already out there on the internet where you could go and find out who's who. This video I'm gonna talk about the current, facts that we got. So, allegedly, Miss Chin, aka Chelsea Harris, was paid to set Chinaman up. Basically, she conspired with the alleged shooters and gave them the whereabouts, this, that, and the third, so they could come do what they do. Now, she was out for a while. Like I said, the shooting took place in December, the end of December of 2023. She was just recently arrested in September of 2024. Throughout the time since the shooting, she been out, traveling the world, living her best life. Even though when the shooting first happened, there were people mentioning her name from the jump. But, maybe she thought she was good. Maybe she didn't think it was going to come all the way back to as far as they could prove it. But she has been arrested. Now, they know in the paperwork it says some known and unknown co-conspirators. So maybe they found one of the shooters and they're telling. Maybe they got some, phone calls or something. In the paperwork it says something about mail was used. Maybe they got a letter. You never know. I don't know exactly what it is. We have to wait till more information comes out. But obviously they know who some of the people were that was also a part of the crime with Miss Chin. Now, like I said, as innocent as proven guilty, I'm not going to, slam the door shut, because at the end of the day, sometimes people be innocent. But from the way it's looking right now, it looks like they got a pretty decent case, and that it probably would come out to light who was involved all the way around. And now, was it a hit? That's rumors in the streets. Some people saying Chinaman was dry snitching on a live about, throwing certain names out there. So, you guys maybe could do your research and find out. But like I said, the streets are talking. They've been talking from day one about, certain people that might have had something to do with this. But, that we just got to wait and see. That could just be, people trying to state the obvious when it's somebody totally different. We never know. But the thing that we know for sure right now is Miss Chin arrested in Miami, Florida for the murder of Clarissa Rissa Burgos and the shooting of Chinaman. Chinaman himself is locked up right now. He's in the feds, I think. He stays in and out of jail. This ain't nothing new to him as far as like, sometimes they just want to be rich for 6 months in jail for 2 years. I don't know. It's just how this scamming game go a lot of the times. It's a lot of how this street shit go a lot of the times. You get a quick run and then you do some time in prison. That's just how it goes for most of the people participating in that lifestyle. Now, what I will say is that, Clarissa didn't deserve that. You understand? She didn't deserve to be shot in her head and killed in the street like that when she was running around with certain people. But, to you females, you got to be knowing who y'all running around with. They had a relationship for a long time. They dealt with each other as far as, like, I don't know if it was friends or they was dealing with each other, but they knew each other and was around each other a lot. So it wasn't like it was somebody new she was hanging out with, but still, Chinaman his car had just been shot up a couple days before. Now, he himself should have been a little more on point to not be risking people's lives by having them with her. Maybe he shouldn't have had her with her, knowing what he was into, knowing what he was going through at the time. His car recently got shot up. He's mocking the shooters, saying this, get your money back, I ain't dead, quoting 50 Cent lyrics and all that. So, basically egging them and begging them to come back and try again, which is what they did, but he ended up having Clarissa with her and she gets shot and killed. So, that's a lack of judgment on his part. He should have chose not to involve in anything, have her around. A lot of you females, you got to know who you're around, man. A lot of these dudes be having a lot going on in the streets, and y'all just running around with them, head in the sky, all willy-nilly, thinking it won't come back to you when bullets don't got no names, man. So, but, and also, so you dudes, a lot of you dudes got to understand when you involve in these females and whatever y'all got going on, a lot of times it's going to come back to bite you in the ass, especially if they start talking. Because now she ain't talking. There's no reports of her cooperating. But she's charged with felony murder in the feds. Felony murder. Federal. Which probably has a maximum of life in prison. Right? It probably has a minimum of life in prison. Right? So if she starts getting, once she calms down and starts realizing what she's facing, who's to say she won't start cooperating? And now how they say they got known and unknown co-conspirators, everybody might be known who had a part to it. She might start singing like a bird and telling everybody. I'm not saying that's what she's doing because I don't want to put a rat tag on nobody that isn't a rat, but I'm just saying you never know. And a lot of times with these females, they not trying to sit in jail for life in prison when they thought they was just helping somebody out that they fucked with and setting somebody up. But you gotta be mindful of what you do, you know what I'm saying? So females, you gotta be mindful of these dudes, and the fellas, you gotta be mindful of these women. Because when shit go left, shit go left. And it ain't no honor amongst these, man. So when they get in front of them judges and they hearing those numbers and them sentences, people start talking. Because at the end of the day, they might be somebody talking already. Because how they know? But I'm hearing rumors that she allegedly had texts in her phone that they found, texts back and forth. That's what they're saying. They're saying she texted, communicated with the shooters and the paperwork. I posted the paperwork. You guys can read that. I might have to zoom in a little bit, but it's there. And we're gonna keep updating on this particular topic because, like I said, the streets is buzzing about this, especially in New York City. It's going in Florida. They're talking about it because Miss Chin was known, popular out there, back and forth to New York, traveling out the country, right? So we're going to keep this updating, especially if some new information drops. And like I said, Chinaman, well known in the city for doing what he do. Certain people he was affiliated with, well known in the city. And we just have to wait and see what comes out of this. But on that note, man, it's WhatsTheNumbers TV. I hope you guys appreciate the content. As of right now, Miss Chin, a.k.a. Chelsea Harris, is in federal custody, waiting to get shipped back to New York for her participation in the murder of Clarissa Rissa Burgos and the shooting of Chinaman in Queens in December 2023, facing life in prison or the death penalty from what I've seen, and we got to see what comes next. But on that note, it's WhatsTheNumbers TV. It's your boy Poro. Follow the Instagram, subscribe to the channel, any business Poro WhatsTheNumbers at yahoo.com. And on that note, I'm out of here. Peace.